So our next speaker is the lovely Jill Davis. Jill has a fear of public speaking, but she started a Toastmasters group to help herself get over it. Then a fellow Toastmaster told her about PK and the 20 format presentation. So she started Dayton Pecha Kucha Nights. The title of her presentation is How I Got Here.
Hello, everyone. Shayna and Matt, my fellow PK organizers, thought I should celebrate 30 volumes of Pecha Kucha Nights by giving a 2020 of all things. So here goes. Yes, I brought PK to Dayton for the joy of public speaking, but there's a little more to the story about how I got here. First, I must tell you that shortly after I moved to Dayton 12 years ago, I tried my darndest to leave Dayton. What was I doing in this rusty, deserted old town? I was sure I was going to die of loneliness. So my husband, Nick, agreed that I could find our ideal spot and we would move. So I entered my search criteria into the computer and got Middlebury, Vermont. Middlebury had a college, cafes and pubs to walk to, hiking trails in the hills nearby, and it was small, so I figured it had to be friendly. Well, we spent a week there. We found it to be dull. We didn't find any friendly people. It felt a little like an exclusive suburb with wickedly overpriced, crappy houses, and anyway, no good. Then, one day, Nick shared our search with a colleague of his who said, "If you're looking for a very social neighborhood, try historic South Park." It's not for everyone. It's next to the university. You can walk to the cafes and pubs, and it has a book club, and I told Nick, go find a house and buy it, and I'll start packing. And that's how I got here, historic South Park, Dayton. I like it. I like its friendly, unpretentious people. I appreciate its long struggle against blight. When I told someone I was moving here, they said, "Those people drink too much, and they can't keep their noses out of each other's business." But I interpreted that as social and close-knit. South Park is like a vortex of goodness or something. Like any family, we have our drunk uncles, contrarians, and ne'er-do-wells, but to me, that's all part of family. So here I am in a very social neighborhood, great, and I have really poor social skills, bad. I love people, but they scare me. I can break into a sweat just walking into a party, so I know I was probably the totally wrong person for the job of bringing PK to Dayton. Organizers in other cities are architects, creatives, extroverts. Well, so what? I'd get this party started before anyone figured out I shouldn't really be the one doing it. I would just find some people and a space and some beer. I worked up the nerve to ask people to speak and attend. I think I sent them notes because I was too shy about talking. But anyway, it happened. So how did it work the first time? Beautiful. People were like, "Hey, not sure what this is, but it's fun, interesting, crazy good energy." 5 of the 8 speakers came from South Park, a great diverse mix of people, and I had an excuse to hang out with them for an evening. So go PK. Thank goodness Matt Sowers soon joined me as a PK organizer. He's an architect. We were funding this with our own money at first, but luckily, by volume 6, Sam at Dragonfly volunteered to be our first sponsor. So soon, we were off and running all over town. PK is different in every city. In Dayton, we're do-it-yourself, DIY. 4 times a year, we're loading our cars with beer and pretzels, hauling stuff into new, usually underutilized spaces, setting up chairs, and cleaning up after. But I can do that. I can work hard. We love inviting our audiences to new places, empty storefronts, beautiful churches. We've PK'd in a tent, on a rooftop, in oily industrial buildings, artist spaces, an archaeological park, grand places like the Art Institute, Engineers Club, the Masonic Temple. Sometimes we even drink wine from stemware, but mostly we do cheap rosé and cheese puffs. By volume 11, Shana McConville had joined us as an organizer. Now, artists are creating PK posters. Rodney Veal invited us to the art show as Friends of the Arts, but that's because of Shana. I never thought I would hang out with artists. I think they stay up past my bedtime, but I get to see them at PK nights, thanks to Shana. The heart of PK, of course, is our presenters, almost 240 of them now. I don't even know where to start. Because I'm shy, I love their fearlessness in sharing. To me, anyone who tackles the 2020 format is inspiring. I like to experience their intelligence, humor, and creativity, discoveries and revelations. They tell me things about Dayton, so I can date my city. They tell me things about the world I was ignorant of. I didn't know funk music was born in Dayton. I'd never heard of sarcastic art or anthotype art. And our beautiful MC, Elam, talked about growing up in Dakar at a PK night. I hadn't heard about prefabricated steel homes or menstrual health challenges in Tibet. I'm inspired when I hear how people find strength after tragedy and rise up from loss or brokenness or addiction. What is so crazy is that people can make the mundane things really interesting. Taxes, beer, hats, reptiles, Uber driving, backyard gardening, kittens, doors, farming, helping people, sex. Does the audience love it? I'd have to say yes. One of my most fun moments in PK came when a bon vivant and PK presenter, namely Dante Bedingfield, walked into volume 13, looked around the room and said, "Everyone's here." And that's a good feeling for shy persons or anyone staging an event. So thank you, big thanks to the friendly people who helped throw these parties. Meanwhile, we're still debating how to pronounce Pecha Kucha, how to best describe PK night to someone who hasn't been to one, and where to find the next good spot.
Wow, that was wonderful, Jill. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. But funny enough, I know how you felt about moving to Dayton. Growing up, I dreamt of moving to either Boston or Youngstown, Ohio for some reason. But I ended up here, and I love it. So,